It's unstable topic with Sarah and Maggie.
Hey, bestie.
Hey, bestie.
So I was listening to this, obviously, NPR the other day, and they were talking about what time people eat dinner. And they were talking about, like, in Europe, it's much later. Like, in France, I think it's rude to eat before 7. And I immediately thought I would be very rude all the time because dinner in the Adams household is between 5 and 5:15. And so I was curious, where do you stand with dinner?
Oh, man. On weekends when everyone's home, we eat at like 5 because I'm ready to start the evening. I'm ready to be
Yes.
like, this day is over. Let's start dinner. Let's, get ready for bed, put on pajamas. Let's do all that. During the week, we eat around 6, a little like 6,
Mhm.
6:30. Um, but if Kyle's gonna be, like, late coming home from work, then sometimes I'll eat earlier. Like, sometimes I'm like, "Okay, if he's not gonna be here for dinner, then let's eat earlier." I can see,
Yeah.
like, if the kids when the kids get older, eating later at, like, 7, but personally,
Mhm.
I am, like, ready to eat dinner at 4:30. I'm like
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
like, "I gotta eat," so I'm, like, snacking and then prepping dinner, and then I'm like, "Gosh, I just wanna get food in my belly," you know?
I agree. No, I like the idea of early dinner too because then it gives you so much options for after dinner. Like if you eat at 8 o'clock when you're done eating, like you're done for the day. But if you eat like early, then you eat dinner, you can go for a walk, you can have conversations, you have a nice glass of wine. Like
Yeah. I think they still
I think the
do that
world's
in France. Like, I think they just
no,
stay up till,
no,
like,
no way.
midnight,
No,
and
no way.
then
There's no way a human can function like that. No way.
yeah, they drink, like,
No.
wine and eat bread and then or smoke
Like with
cigarettes,
kids,
and then they're still skinny
with
and, like,
kids,
having fun and being French.
I don't how do you do that and then wake up the next morning at 7 or 6 or 5:45 and be good,
Well,
and then wait till 9 o'clock to eat dinner?
here's the theory. The food in America is real bad, right? So, like, there are people who this is a serious theory. There are people who, can't eat bread in America, like, cannot do it. They go to
Mhm.
France or Italy and can eat all the bread they want because it doesn't have all the preservatives and all of the junk that food in America has.
So, do you want me to poke holes in that, or
Yeah.
do you just want me to, like
Yeah, go
okay,
ahead.
well, here's the thing. 1, I don't disagree with you about the food quality.
Mhm.
I do think, like, GMO stuff anyways, that's a different podcast. I do think that if someone's like, I can't eat this bread, but if I go to France and I pick up like a baguette off like the market for some reason, like I am totally fine. I think that person's a liar.
No.
I I
No.
don't know. But here's the thing. Bread, you can get with bread. We're staying on bread. You can make your own bread. You can buy gluten-free bread. You can buy artisanal bread. You can buy bread from a bakery. And if you're going to tell me all of that bread in America that uses the same ingredients as bread in France, I don't I don't. The only like if like even if you use organic whole grain wheat, like it's not the bread that's the problem, you know?
Well,
You gotta start looking internally at that point. Like,
so
am
many
I the issue?
okay, so I've Googled it. In France, I
Of
can eat
course you
all
did.
the wheat I like, gorge on bread, indulge in pastries, not have a single symptom.
Mhm. This is a Google search?
I
That's what you searched on Google?
Many people
Those are the
struggle to
words?
eat out successfully with a gluten-free diet.
Yeah, because 'cause you're not eating gluten, which is in bread. It's not I don't
I don't know. I don't know,
I don't
Sarah.
unders
I've seen this all over the internet, and
well,
people
if
we
it's on the
know who
internet,
are gluten intolerant.
they go to France and eat gluten and they're
Yeah, when
fine.
they're
The
in Europe,
France
they can
France
eat it,
gluten
and they're in Europe. Mhm. So that's why, because if you're French and you're eating at 7 p.m., you're eating better food, and so then you're not as, like, "Ugh," in the morning, you know? That's why. I don't know, maybe. It's a theory. It's unstable.
Maggie, are you ready for your fact?
Mhm.
Ever get guac at Chipotle? It might have been from Jason Mraz's backyard. The singer sells avocados to the burrito chain.
Really?
Mhm.
Interesting. You know what's weird
Are you
about Jason
What's
Mraz?
weird? Oh, besides him having an avocado farm that he sells to Chipotle?
Yeah, what's weird is that I know 2 people from 2 different circles who know Jason Mraz.
In what way?
Like, they've hung out with him, or he's, like, really good friends with one of my friend's sisters, um, or this comedy group that came in for the festival, they've, like, collaborated with Jason Mraz, they were fans, and now they're, like, good friends with him, um, and I think that's weird for me, a human,
To know someone
to
so
know
close to
2
somebody.
people who are close to Jason Mraz, avocado farmer and singer-songwriter.
I wonder if this was the universe's way of putting that out there. So now that maybe Jason Mraz will know you personally,
Yeah.
but not like personally, but like just personally, like be his friend.
Yeah, I think we would
I
be
don't know.
friends. I was a fan of
You
his
think so?
music, right, I remember
Sing a Jason Mraz song.
I was just about to sing one, but then it wasn't the song by
You're
Jason
Googling.
Mraz.
You're
I'm
Googling
gonna
it right
Google
now.
I
You're
wanted to make
Googling.
sure, because I was gonna sing New Shoes, and that's not Jason Mr oh, this
You
one.
know it.
I'm yours. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hey, hey. You know that one?
It's like I'm at a Jason
I
Mraz
know. I
concert.
could be his backup singer.
Probably
I was
could.
gonna sing that New Shoes song because I feel like that came out around the same time. Do you remember that song?
Got my new shoes on and dun 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 dun. Dun. That
Mhm.
one.
Yeah, by Paolo Nutini.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the same vibe for
Yeah.
me. I was like, "Oh, these are like some fun poppy songs." Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. Are you ready to
I
react?
am.
If you had to pair a food with a celebrity,
Oh,
what food celebrity pairing would you make?
this is a great question. I would do whew, wow. Like they're the farmer of it or they are this food?
Your choice.
Okay,
Your
okay.
choice.
A hamburger and Brad Pitt because he's always
Ooh.
eating them in movies.
Mhm.
And when I
He's
think of,
yeah,
like, a food
he eats a lot.
association, I think hamburger and Brad Pitt, you know?
You know what's you know what's funny is for some reason in my mind, the first thing that came to was George Clooney and pineapple.
Oh.
Like, for some reason, like, I feel like he's a pineapple
You
guy.
think
Like, if I were to pair food with a person, do you hear my tummy just growling?
no.
It's because I'm talking about
You're
food.
talking about pineapple and you're like, you're talking about George Clooney and
Wow.
you're like, "Oh, mama's hungry."
Ooh. If I were to pair a food with a celebrity, for some reason, those 2 images came to my mind, and I'm like, "Well, pineapple and George Clooney."
You think he's a swinger?
I completely forgot the pineapple was upright when I saw it,
Okay.
so no.
He's just a fan of the fruit.
He's just a fan of the fruit.
That's good. That's good.
Mm.
I think pineapple and George Clooney. I was gonna say, like, Greek
Uh,
salad and Jennifer Aniston because I feel like there's a salad that she used to always eat on Friends, and I get targeted a articles about it.
mhm.
But,
That's a good
yeah,
one.
you know? Couldn't think
Yeah.
of it fast enough. I was trying to think of someone who'd
I
be
like
an onion. Like, which celebrity would be an onion?
Danny DeVito.
Oh, that's it. Yep.
I'm telling you, things are just flashing in my mind right now. Give me another one, Maggie.
Okay,
Let's see if
alright,
I can do
okay,
another
okay.
one.
Here's another food. The food is kumquat.
Angelina Jolie.
Ah, she is a kumquat. You're exactly right. She is in fact a kumquat. How about a broccoli?
Hmm. I don't know about broccoli. I don't have any images flashing in my mind.
Yeah, maybe
What do you got?
broccoli's like a commoner's food, not a celebrity food, maybe.
A Popper's food.
Yeah, it's a mere paupers broccoli. Broccoli poppers. What about jalapeno
Uh,
poppers?
oh, that's, Matthew McConaughey.
He is in fact a jalapeno popper, you are correct. Step right up. It's time to play friend, enemy, block.
Yes!
Who of these three celebrities provided will Sarah or Maggie pick to be their friend, to be their enemy, and to block from all contact for the rest of their lives? Let's find out on Friend, Enemy, Block! Sarah, this friend-enemy block pins a famous trio against each other for your love and admiration. Of these delicious appetizer dips, which is your friend, which is your enemy, and which are you blocking forever? Salsa, guac, queso.
Okay. Uh, so right off the bat, because life changes me, I would have to block queso. Now, if you'd have I know. This is an unpopular opinion. I get it. I love queso. I love queso so much. I have to block them. Because even if queso was my enemy, they would still be in my world and I couldn't help but eat queso. I have to block queso. I have to block queso.
I don't know why I'm
It,
so emotional about this, but I am literally tearing up. That's not how I
and it's
expected
just
this to go.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's for the best for both of us because I don't wanna like hate queso. I don't because I love queso, which is why I have you love the things you let it go, and I'm blocking queso. I am enemies with guacamole because I love a good guac chips. But I don't always like the amount of onions that are in guacamole. Sometimes it's like really chunky and I'm like, I don't trust you, guacamole. What are you gonna be like today when I put my chip, and dip it? So that's why guacamole is my enemy. I don't know what I'm getting. Salsa, on the other hand, best friend because salsa is there for you tried and true. You sit down at a table, there's salsa, you get a good chip, you can put salsa on chicken, you can eat salsa with anything, a carrot, you can have it as a side dish. Like salsa is true through friendship. It's there for you in the good and the bad. It will not let you down. So yeah, that's my friend enemy block.
I think I blacked out after you said you were gonna block queso. I had such an emotional reaction to that. I don't even know where it came from. I'm trying to, like, unpack it for myself, like, why I started literally crying. I literally am still tearing up, and it's like, 'cause like, queso if you have to block queso, that's like you cannot see queso because you love queso so much.
I know.
Like, that's the
It's how much I
only
love
reason.
queso.
Like, normally, we're blocking
That's
people because we don't like them, we don't wanna see them. But this is
right.
like you love queso so
I
much, but you
love
can't
queso
have
so much.
queso, and so you have to block queso. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, this was so emotional for me. I can't. Oh, just because of that,
I'm
I'm gonna put
sorry.
queso in my friend bucket because I feel like queso's gonna need a friend to talk to and, like, explain why she's blocked by
Maggie, don't
you, and
Maggie, but I can't be around
I'm
queso,
not
and if
gonna
you're
invite
around
nope,
queso
I'm not gonna invite you guys to the same parties. I'm not even
but you
gonna, like
can't no, what do you mean? You can't do that. This is what friendship is about, Maggie. If I block queso, you have to block
I
queso
can't block
too.
queso!
You have to block
I can't
queso
block
for me.
queso! I can't block
You have
queso.
to. If you don't block queso, how are you and I gonna be friends? How are you gonna have parties and have queso there and not me?
I
What do you expect for
I
me
am
to do?
literally unraveling. I am unwell. This friend enemy block has really messed with me, and I wish I could take it back. I wish I
You
could take it
can't.
back.
And it's recorded.
I just don't
It's
even wanna
forever.
I don't
So,
even ugh.
Maggie, we're gonna have to take it. We're gonna end this. You don't have to do any more, but you have to really think about like if I have blocked queso, right? And you don't block queso, what does that say about our friendship?
What if I put queso in my enemy?
That's better. That's better.
Okay.
I because that means queso won't always be there.
And it means, like, when I'm indulging in queso, it's like a guilty pleasure because 'cause they're my enemy.
Alone
I
alone.
have to just heating up
You
queso in the microwave and eating it in my garage. Doesn't sound too far off.
Are you ready for your fact?
I am.
The Library of Congress is the largest library in the world with more than 173 million items.
Wow. I can't even imagine counting that high. I can't even imagine counting to 1 million.
No. There's a book Walter has is How Much is a Million? And it talks about like if you were to count to a million, how long it would take you. And I think it'd take you like 100 years, maybe
Gosh.
50 years or something like that.
How many people do you think it takes to count, what was it, 173 million?
173 million.
How many people does it take to count that many things? And is it important to have that many things? I feel like if I had more than a million things, it would be like, we're never going to touch this stuff. No one's interested in this
Well,
stuff.
the Library of Congress, which is accessible, holds like artifacts from from what I was reading from 1800s. They had a Library of Congress, and then it burnt down.
Oh,
Everything was gone, and so they purchased like books and somebody's library. I think whose library was it? Did they purchase it from? I'm gonna have to Google. Hold on.
but still, it sounds like the Library of Congress is hoarding a bunch of things that no one really needs.
Have you been able to go? It's really cool to see all the things that they have.
But, like, is it organized? They have 173 million
Yes.
things organized,
Mm-hmm.
not just
Yeah,
chaotic
it's not
grandma's
like
house?
no, it's not like you walk into one of our closets. No, this is like organization.
Do you think they have, like, warehouses, though, with some of the millions of things that aren't even out for display?
100%. That's where the Ark of the New Covenant is. So it says the library was
Wait,
founded in
wait.
18.
The Ark of the New Covenant is just in, like, a pod
Yeah,
in the parking
yeah.
lot. It's just like, "Ah, dang."
Well, maybe not in the parking lot, but the best place to hide something is in plain sight. Like hide it in front of everybody, you know?
Yeah.
It says it was founded in 1800, making it the oldest federal cultural institution in the nation. On August 24th, 1814, British troops burned the Capitol building where the library was housed and destroyed the library's core collection of 3,000 volumes. And then on January 30th, 1815, Congress approved the purchase of Thomas Jefferson's personal library of 6,487 books for $23,000.
$23,000?
That's a lot of money back then, too.
Yeah. That's a lot to give to Jefferson for his books. Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
And now that has since grown to 173 million things. It's not just books either. So when I went to the museum, they have like letters that people kept from the Vietnam Wall. There's like cans and things that
Cans?
kids have made. Yeah, like old, like I don't know, archival things that people have placed throughout historical moments.
Oh. I
It's
don't think
pretty
I yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I should go
I
I
think
should
it's
go look.
fascinating.
I don't like museums. I mean, I do like museums, but as a kid, I remember not liking going to museums where you couldn't, like, touch things or interact with things because it was, like, cool, so I'm just, like, looking at this from behind a glass, but I can't, like, be a part of history. I mean, I understand it because you don't want everything to break, but for, like, is a can super fragile? Like, you can't have people touching the can?
I think it was out. I don't know. But I thought it was pretty new because it was interactive. It was like
Oh.
TVs and things. Like it wasn't just like look behind this glass at a can. It was like art installation almost. And then it was really neat. And this
I
was
wonder how much
what,
money, so if they paid
10 years ago.
$23,000 back way back when, in
Mhm.
1815, how much money do you think they have spent on buying cans and wooden spoons and old books to get
I don't think they
173
do.
million? You think people just donate it?
I think it's just donated.
Oh, then
Like I don't
Thomas
think the
Jefferson should have
Library of
donated his collection.
Yeah. Oh, so here's interesting. I just pulled up. So the National Recording Registry is at the Library of Congress. And so there's Oh, and there's a national book festival. This is really interesting, all the
Should
things
we
that they
go?
have.
Should we go? Should we do a road trip?
I would love to go back to DC sans kids because my kids are not old enough to complain properly. Because when I lived in DC, I did a lot of complaining at several Smithsonians
Mm-hmm.
and the White House. And I feel like if I were to do it justice, I need to have my children walkable where they can complain to me that it's too hot.
Yes.
I don't want to walk anymore.
Yes. Yeah. They have to yeah, I agree. They have to be at an age where their complaints are relevant, not just
Yeah.
everyday
Yeah.
complaints, but specific to this journey that you have planned for them.
Yeah, because distinctly remember going to the White House. It was in the 90s for like a Christmas tree. Like you got to tour the White House. My dad worked for the Pentagon and the White House, and we got invited to go tour the White House during Christmas time, and we were brats.
Yeah.
There is a picture of me and my brother standing in front of this White House Christmas tree fireplace thing, looking miserable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang. I can't take my children until they're at that level of misery when I take them someplace.
Right. They might smile for a picture of you in DC. And who wants that?
Who wants that?
You want your kid being like, I don't like it.
Hey, Maggie, are you ready to react?
I am.
When's the first time you got a library card?
I think I got it when I was in first or second grade at the Pittsford Public Library. And we used to go a lot. We used to go get lots of books. It's funny because MJ, my daughter, is in pre-K, and her librarian told them the first week that they could go get library cards. So we went, and she has her own library card, and she signed her name and everything.
I love it. Library. I remember getting one, and it was like a big deal. Like you felt really proud to have your library card.
Yeah. I thought it was I pretended it was a credit card. When I'd play pretend, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I have a card. I have one of those. Let me wait.
It's the same thing.
Okay, quick. Speaking of cards, different card, but Blockbuster cards. Remember those?
Yes. Oh,
so
gosh,
we went as a family to get our Blockbuster card, and it was just a laminated piece of paper, right? But I think you had to pay for the Blockbuster card. I don't know, but we had to go get it. We get the Blockbuster card. I have it. I'm sitting in the car. I'm like, wow, I have all the power. I have all the Blockbusters. For some reason, I'm alone in the car because it's, the 90s. And I'm playing with the window, rolling the window up and down. And I put the card on, and I can roll the window down, and the card goes down, and roll the window up, and the card goes up. And then I was like, oh, this is awesome. So I rolled it all the way down and then rolled it all the way up, and the card didn't make it. And we had this card for probably 2.5 minutes, and I lost it inside the door of our vehicle.
And this would not be the last thing you would lose inside a door of a vehicle.
This might be a theme of my lifetime. Thank you so much for joining us. If you enjoyed this episode, we would love a review, subscribe, or for you to share this with a friend you think would like it.
Or all three of those things. You can do all three and make our day and help us grow.